Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Edwards Trades. I'm here again to give a general rundown and broad market recap of this week, what you guys missed out on, where we're at, how are things looking, and my overall analysis of the tech sector, the NASDAQ, the SPYs, and the QQQs. So, I'm going to explain it the simplest way I can in the quickest way I can. So, what has happened this week, right? First and foremost, ascending pattern, ascending triangle pattern here. We managed to retest or reclaim this resistance trend line here. Resistance, basically put, is a zone, a barrier, a hazard that we weren't able to break or move out of. Excuse me. Since the start of or since the end of June. This has been resistance. We've been sitting sideways in this zone here, respecting this trend line here, forming higher lows. So we had a higher low here, which is generally a higher low means that we are forming a higher low. It's basically like here, higher low here at this region. We had another higher low here at this region, again respecting this white line here that I have drawn out. Another higher low here. Bulls, right? The buyers finally managed to break out of this resistance trend line for the NASDAQ 100, which was right around here, which is 11,679. We broke out of this key resistance level here, this key barrier here, following Tuesday's trading session, right? CPI data came out. We managed to hold above it. Sellers, the bears, weren't able to drive down the stock, fill the gap here, and break this trend line. We actually managed to rally, which is generally a good sign and a good start for upside movement. So maybe stocks could rally again in the future. I don't know just yet, and I'll give my reasons why in just a second. So again, this is the NASDAQ 100 tech sector. So if you guys were not paying attention or haven't been watching the stock market, stocks are green. Bitcoin rallied a bit. The tech sector rallied a bit because we broke out of this key resistance trend line, right? What does that mean? Simply put, what that means is that, for the short time being, we broke out of this resistance trend line. We're now kind of in this sideways momentum that we've started since the start of May, right? We had a fake bull flag, right? Bull flag scenario. We had a kind of bull flag here, but we weren't. It was kind of a fake out, so we rejected this line and we've fallen over, right? Sold, stocks went lower. We're kind of in the same zone here, right? So what do I want to happen and what are the worst case scenarios, right? What are the best case and worst case scenarios? What do you got? And I'm going to explain it to you right now. So, because we broke out of this resistance trend line for the NASDAQ, again, 11,679, I want basically two things to happen if we want to move higher. I want us to form another bull flag, just like this scenario, but not break down. I want us to retest this zone, turn this into support, maybe see some sideways momentum here, finally break out of this zone, forming a higher high, right? If we can form another higher low, which was like what I'm just marked here, right? Again, higher low, a good higher low here in this region, or as long as we respect this line, the overall market outlook is bullish. What really drove this would have to be the market sentiment, and also Tesla's earnings kind of had the market rally just a little higher too. So again, this is the overall play that I'm watching for throughout the week. Earnings season is starting or has started for the tech sector. Tesla was the first one to report their earnings. They beat their earnings, which is generally a good sign, and the market sentiment has favored that. And then again, this has led to the bull rally. Second scenario 2. What I don't want us to happen, right? If next week we manage to retest this and fail, we could possibly be seeing again another sideways momentum here. And if we break this zone here and falling over, we could be expecting lower momentum, which means that stocks are not done dropping yet, that we could be seeing stocks go lower, which is of course what we don't want to happen for those of you guys who are currently invested and want to buy in stocks. We don't want that to happen. So again, what I think is more than likely going to happen for the tech sector, this is my opinion, I think if earnings for Apple and these other tech companies end up being this could be a great sign, especially next Wednesday, which I'll make a video on. Next week, we're waiting for the FOMC meeting and all this stuff, right? If next week earnings is good, there's no issues for next week's meeting, which I'll make another video on later. If all that is great and dandy, we could be seeing a bull rally. We could be moving higher, leading to getting out of this bearish if I go to the weekly perspective, finally breaking out of this downward trend line, and we could be seeing some upward momentum and, move from this region here, possibly higher, and we could be seeing maybe a bull market again, but probably for the rest of the year, right? This is for the NASDAQ 100. Again, we're gonna take a look at SPY. So again, this is SPY. Kind of the same thing, same outlook, right? We've broken out of this, we formed an ascending triangle, broken out of this resistance zone of around 390, and now we finally got our first pullback after a 3-day rally, right? Which started around Tuesday of the trading session, right? We rallied. Now we're waiting for, again, another pullback scenario to take place. If we hold above 390, or excuse me, let me get rid of this. If we hold 390, which is good, right? We filled the gap here. The gap has been filled at this region here. Filled the gap, pulling back, right? We don't want this to break again. Very important level here, 390. If we want to continue to see upside movement from 390 to 407, which would be next resistance level here. Again, starting May, sideways momentum. We had a bull flag scenario. Weren't able to break out of 415. Again, if you guys want to be bullish, I would like to see us hold above 390, retest, go higher, stay in this confluence zone, form a bull flag again, right? And break 415. Then maybe we can see, again, markets move higher, tech sector move higher, risk on investors coming back, right? We have to hold 390 for the SPY. If we hold 390, that's good. We turn this barrier into support. We don't have to worry about this zone no more. We can form a new. This would confirm a higher low, which is what we need for an uptrend, and now we just need a higher high, which would be respectively above 407. Right? Again, if earnings and the meeting next week is good, market will move up, in my opinion. If things go sideways, or again earnings comes out bad and bad reports come out and bad news, the market could be heading down, more downward momentum, and in the future, maybe for the rest of the year, we could be seeing stock markets go lower, which is again what we don't want. All right, so this is just like SPY and the NASDAQ. Same pattern, same idea, same concept. Now we're going to move on to the QQQs. Same thing for the QQQs. Excuse me, let me go ahead and get rid of this drawing. Same thing. Broke out of this key resistance level 296, waiting for a possible retest. Maybe, again, it's kind of the same situation here. We filled the gap here, sideways congestion zone here. We got to break 312 to see movement higher. We have a lot of wiggle room to go. And the reason why I'm heavily emphasizing, just like the NASDAQ, the SPY that I just went over, if we break out of this zone here, we have a lot of upside momentum to move on to, which is generally a good sign, because that would mean that, the bulls are back. People can buy their stocks and not worry about it going lower. Again, we don't want this 296 zone for the QQQ to break down, or, for those day traders out there, that means more puts. This is a bear trap, or this is a bull trap the whole time, and we weren't really going anywhere. This is just a big market setup to move lower and, bring investors down and sell and short and so on and so forth. So again, waiting. It looks like we're getting our first pullback. We need to hold above 296. We hold. Again, just like SPY's QQ, we hold, here, breakout, retest. This would be a higher low situation, like I mentioned earlier. Go ahead and get rid of this, right? Same general outlook, higher low here, higher low here, and then we have a higher low here, and then here we maybe see another higher low here in this region, or maybe around this trend line here, and yeah. That would confirm an uptrend for the short term, and maybe possibly long term if, again, the news for next week and earnings for these major tech companies are good. Okay? Now, that's basically the cut and dry of what happened throughout this week. We've broken out a major resistance zone here. Bulls were able to take control for the time being. We finally had our red day for Friday, which is nothing too concerning, and we're just waiting for, again, maybe a retest, maybe sideways action, earnings, and so on and so forth. And again, we don't want to break this line here. We don't want to break this, come back down here, end up in this sideways range again, and then if we break this trend line again, move lower, stock market's going to move lower, right? So yeah, now we're going to go on to Apple and then Tesla, and then again, kind of the same thing. If Apple moves, and then everything else will move. The tech sector rallied, so we were, again, sitting sideways in this zone. If I take my trend line here and draw it out, we did form, we're forming an upward channel here, which is generally a bullish sign, which is great for those of you guys who are trading calls and holding calls, right? We had a higher low here, another higher low here, and we're just waiting for another higher low here at 150. If we can get a perfect retest at 150, again, resistance, barrier. We want to make sure, we basically think of it like as a trampoline, right? You're jumping on a trampoline, we're bouncing all over the place, right? We want this 150 area to be support. If we can turn this to support, again, that would be respecting, a higher high here, and then we got another higher high. Let me take it down a notch for you guys. Uptrend momentum, higher low, perfect. Another higher low here, beautiful. I would like another higher low here in this region, 150, to continue the upward momentum and move towards 158 after we break 155, which is psychological resistance, but I don't think it's anything too crazy to break, right? That's what I'm waiting on. Just a small pullback, a little refresher, you know what I'm saying? Markets can't go. We had a nice 3-day rally. We're just waiting for another higher low retest. And if we're able to turn 150, this critical important level here, 150. If we can turn 150 into support, I can possibly say that the Apple is going to move higher. And again, we break 155, which is psychological support, move to 158. Pretty nice bull rally. I would like that to happen in the future. Again, what I think it's going to be the driving factor is, of course, Apple's earnings. We're waiting on Apple's earnings, which is, I believe, is July 28th. I'm pretty sure that is when their earnings is going to come out. So next Thursday. I don't want to confuse you guys, but yeah, next Thursday, if Apple can report great earnings, then the overall outlook for the market is bullish. Again, upward channel here, which is perfect. Broke out of this downward trend line. If I were to draw it out for Apple, right? We've broken out of this key level here. Markets are rallying higher. It's generally a bull week this week, so I give props to the bulls. Good job, guys. Let's see if we can continue this momentum forward for next week. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla, and that will be my overall analysis for this week. And let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. So again, Tesla reported great earnings, which I believe it was Thursday. If I'm going to go ahead and go to the weekly time frame, I think their earnings was, let me see here, profile. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second here. I believe it was Thursday. All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe Tesla's earnings was Thursday, right? We were stuck in this a lot different from other stocks. We were sideways, of course, like I mentioned for SPY and QQQ. They weren't what is important about this level for Tesla is the fact that we were able to break out. You see here in this zone, we weren't really moving. We would hit 760 break, following over sideways. Since the start of May, you can say that Tesla has been doing nothing but just staying in this sideways zone, just chilling and grilling, doing nothing. They reported earnings in this, I believe, again, it was Thursday, correct me if I'm wrong, but the general picture is that we've broken out of this 760. We gapped up after earnings, right? Reported earnings, they beat the earnings, it was pretty good. We gapped up hard, Right now, it's a matter of if Tesla can come down, ease off just a little bit, put the brakes on, retest 760 and move higher, then we can be seeing another rally for Tesla, which is what I would like to see. I don't want Tesla to continue to move higher without retesting the zone because, as I mentioned just now, is 760 is critical resistance, right? Resistance here, break, falling over. I'm gonna draw another one. Actually, let me make this easier for you guys here. Like we had one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times here where we tested, and 5 times here actually, 5 here, where we just weren't able to break 760. Sideways for May till now, we finally broken over. Now, again, for those of you guys who are trading Tesla, we just want to see us retest 760 as support and see if we can move higher and break, other levels in the future. That's the overall outlook for this week. I don't think we're going to be seeing so much momentum for next week, again, just because of the fact that we have an FOMC meeting Wednesday, which I'll make a quick video on that next week. Tesla or Apple earnings and other major tech sector earnings are going to determine whether or not we're going to continue to see higher movement for stock market. So is the stock market going to rally and are the bulls finally back? That will be the overall factor for the market outlook. Moving on to fall, which is generally moving on to the rest of the year, right? And then we're gonna take another look at another company real quick. We're gonna take a look at AMD, which is one of my favorite companies. They're a chip company, and again, kind of the same thing here. We formed a double bottom on the 4-hour here time frame. So a double bottom, it's basically like a W here. I took a trade position here. We retested 80.52 as support. We rallied a bit. We formed a cup and handle. If I go to the 1-minute time frame. We formed a cup handle. We were able to break out, and now we're just kind of waiting for either a retest of 86.18. We kind of had a failed rejection here. We rejected 90, and now we're falling over. So I like this company. Again, we're up. So just like every other company, tech sector, we've broken out a major resistance. AMD is one of those companies. Chip companies are doing well. Double bottom, George W for me. It looks like a W here. We tested 80 as support, 80.52. Now the question is if we can hold above 86 and turn that into support. If we can, maybe we can be seeing it. As long as we see here that this doesn't break down, we don't want it to come back down to 80.52, which was a supply zone for those of you guys who wanted to buy shares. So again, I'm just waiting for if we hold above 86.18. Again, the overall market is having a pullback. A pullback, you can think of it as a cool down. We're putting the brakes, where we rallied too high. As you can see here, this stock in particular has rallied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This whole week of green without pulling back, and we're finally getting our first pullback. If AMD can hold above 86.18 and move higher, the next resistance level is we would need to hold above 90 here, right? And we fill this gap here, market can rally higher, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's the overall general market recap for this week, my thought process and my overall take. Again, simply put, earnings. If earnings are good, that's great. We can see the stock market move higher in the tech sector. If it ends up being bad and news comes out bad, we could be heading back down, breaking this trend line here and moving lower and still continuing the downward pressure, the bear market, and the quote-unquote recession that's everybody been talking about. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. A quick market recap. I'll make another video next week on where we're at, especially after earnings, my ideas, my analysis. But again, as of this week, good job, bulls. Great bullish momentum. We could be seeing more upside if earnings end up going well for next week. Again, we're having our first pullback period here. We're just waiting for a possible hold above these major levels, as I already said, so the stock market can move higher and hopefully end the rest of the year on a bullish run. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to provide a referral link for Webull, which is what I'm using to make my trading decisions, and this is the platform that I'm using. I'm going to leave a referral link down below for those of you guys who want to open a brokerage account. And for those of you guys who do, it will greatly support me because you and I both get free stocks valued from anywhere from $5 to almost $3,000 worth of free shares. It's free. All you have to do is use my referral link. Sign up, open a brokerage account, deposit any amount of money. It could be $5, $10, any amount you want. Nothing's going to happen to your account. And it'll greatly help me out. Again, it's free money, free shares. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. For those of you guys who stayed throughout this whole session, please give a like and a thumbs up. I really enjoy making these videos, and I want to continue doing this and, educating you guys and keeping you guys up to date of where we're at. And, if you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Wednesday on the FOMC meeting, which is very important, and I'll get a little bit more into that as we get there. But for now, have a great weekend, and let's see if we can make new money next week. Peace out.